we already established how to do a past tense verb. How to do the present tense verb. So what do we say about forms 2, 3, and 4 in the present tense? General statements. That the prefix vowel is dhamma, right? And that the vowel before the end is kesra. We don't need to talk about this here. Why don't we need to say anything about what goes on the land? Or the last letter? Because we know that the present tense verb is what? It's subject to i'rab. By default, we make it marfu. Right? So, the second form, yufa'ilu, or it could be yufa'ila, or it yufa'il. We want to now make the imperative for it. We already know from here, from the first form, how to form the imperative. And what constitutes whether or not we need hamzatul wasl or don't need hamzatul wasl. How do we know if we need hamzatul wasl? When that letter is sukoon. That's what mandates hamzatul wasl. So in forms 2 and 3, that's minus 4. And 2 and 3, right? Once we take off the prefix marker, the fa has a vowel on, so there's no need for hamzatul wasl now. And so we already know that in general, the imperative verb is formed from your present tense. So you're going to copy everything from your present tense in order to make your imperative verb. So once we take off our prefix marker, what's left is your imperative. With the addition that the imperative verb, like the past tense verb, is mabni. Except that the imperative verb is mabni ala sukoon. You have to put it in sukoon. So, yufa'ilu becomes fa'il. Yufa'ilu becomes fa'il. For the fourth form is the only verb that retains its true hamza in the past, imperative, and in the masdar. The only verb in Arabic that retains its true hamza in the past, imperative, and in the masdar. So it comes back in the fourth form. This hamza comes back. We lose it in the present tense, but it comes back in the imperative, right? Yes. So af'il, and it comes back in the masdar. Okay, for 5 and 6. It can't get no easier. Why? Because 5 and 6 is built from 2 and 3. So what we can say, a blanket statement about 5 and 6. Past and present, everything is dhamma. Fatah. Except that verb, 5 and 6, have an additional ta added at the beginning of it. So if you know what 2 and 3 is, put a ta in front of it to make 5 and 6. And everything is fatah. So if it's already fa'ala, it becomes tafa'ala. Right? If it's fa'ala, it becomes tafa'ala. Past tense. Present tense, everything is fatah. Except we know that the end of the verb is ending in dhamma. We made it marfu. Or we could have made it mansub, or we could have made it majzoom. Everybody with me? Yeah. Now for the imperative, same thing, right? What we're going to do to form the imperative, we're going to drop our prefix letter, right? And we're going to copy the verb. There's no need for hamzatul wasl because the ta that's added in 5 and 6 has a vowel. Right, Alan?
I understood.
And then the verb, by default, is mabni ala what? Mabni ala sukoon. So you have to put sukoon on it. Okay? And so while we're here, we would be remiss not to mention how to do the masdar. You okay, Aya? Yeah. A lot of information today. A lot of information. I know sometimes you just got to do it. Just do it and get it over with. Okay? The masdar. Easy. For 5 and 6. For the masdar for 5 and 6, look. We retain the same form of the past tense, whatever it doesn't matter. I like to come from the past tense. So the past tense, tafa'ala, right? So we know the masdar is a noun. So we know that the end of the noun is going to be tanween, loon, lun, or lin, right? That's a given because it's a noun now, right? Everybody with me? Right. So the only vowel we have to change is the middle vowel. And what's the middle vowel? Ayn. Ayn is the middle vowel. Okay? So the mastar for 5 and 6, the vowel becomes Dhamma. It can't, I mean, it really can't get no simpler. The vowel becomes a Dhamma. See, it's probably hard because we can't think of any words. Watch this. Watch this. Watch. See? Watch. Look. Watch this. Ready? We know this word. Tashahada. Finish it. That's past tense. Present tense. Yatashahadu. Tashahada. Right? Past tense verb. Present tense is what? Yatashahadu. Imperative? Tashahad. Tashahad. It stays, everything stays fatah. Tashahad. Masdar. Tashahud. We say the word. You don't know the word tashahud by now? You better have another class. Whoa. Everybody know that word now, right? Yeah. It can't get no easier. The masdar, you put Dhamma on it. All right? We're going to quiz him, Abdur-Rahman. Yeah, all right? If you want to. All right? When there's no water around, what do you make? What the word? Now you see the word now. Tayammum. That's the 5th form masdar. That's what, it don't get no easier. How do you make the masdar for 5 and 6? Middle vowel is Dhamma. Come off your past tense, right? Right? If you want to say come, or if we say come from the present tense, drop your prefix marker, and the vowel before the end is Dhamma. It doesn't matter how you say it. The vowel before the end for your masdar must be a Dhamma. Okay? Everybody got it? The vowel before the end for your masdar. For the masdar. You keep the shadda? You keep everything. You're not dropping anything. You're not taking anything away from 5 and 6. Just the prefix. Of course, you know you got to drop the prefix. And then, that's why I said coming from your past tense. Oh. Come from the past tense. Okay. Right? You know what I'm saying? So the only vowel you changing is that fatha. Change it to a Dhamma. It don't get no easier. If only my teacher would have told me it made it that simple for me. Is the 5th form masdar.
Would you pronounce it tashahud?
The ha is a shadda on it. You don't want me to read the shadda?
So you're not supposed to just say tashahud?
No, that's wrong. It's not the word. Wait a minute. In this here, we don't have to look. I don't have to get scolded out at home on this one. Like I got scolded out last week.
He said he does not have anything to do with that. He said he did not teach you that.
I never knew the error before the word, so I'm just saying tashahud. Tashahud is wrong.
Yes.
Yeah.
Look at it. Look at the word. Look at it. Ta. Shah.
He passed the class.
Did he pass?
I don't know. I can go back.
Go back to your record.
You know what? It was a glitch in the system.
And he slipped through, right?
The extra line appeared on the F.
Everybody got you okay? Oh, no shit.
He said it was an F, but somebody used the kids were
okay. Everybody okay? Everybody see how you make the masdar? Tasha. Make it a Dhamma. Make the middle vowel a Dhamma. Tashahud.
So the vowel is the hat or the shat?
The middle vowel is the hat. Hat. That's the look. What has shad on it? That's the middle vowel. That's what say it comes. That's why we developed down this. It's built off the 2nd form. What's the middle vowel? That's the ayin. So if we took this verb here, look, watch. Let's take this from form 1. It becomes what? Shahidat. That's form 1. Shahidat. Make it form 2. Shahada. Make it form 3. Shahada. Make it form 4. Come on. Ash. Ash, when on sukun, when you stop, ash, hada. Make it form 5. Come on, finish it. Say the whole thing. Tashahada. 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 Make it form 6. There you go. Tashahada.
So to make it, you have to put the dhamma.
Dhamma on the vowel before the last.
Before the last. Okay, before the end.
Does the mustard
Mustard is the noun. So it can be marfu, mansub, or
that's the one where you always put the 10.
Right, I make it. I'm willing to make it 10 weeks. Right. Right. Everybody got it? That's it. Any questions on 5 and 6? How to form 5 and 6? I'm sorry. Past or present?
6, I think that's the.
No, past or present. Past everything.
No. This is the
These two.
No, the middle you just want to touch that. It's like a 5
Here?
on it. Yeah.
Here.
Yeah.
No. This is the middle.
Okay.
If as a past tense verb is mabni ala fatha. Again, past tense verb must end in a fatha until you start conjugating it. Right? So if the verb, look, let's look, like we understand fa'ala, right? Like let's take a real verb, kataba. Right? Look, watch the conjugation. Kataba, right? Katabat. Right? What are we saying now when we say katabat? She wrote. Kataba. What are we saying? None of that stuff there. They wrote. You want to know the inner secrets, come to class. Learn Arabic. That's information you shouldn't be giving up. You understand what you think? They ain't pay their way in. Kataba, they wrote. Everybody understand? We know who we talking about. If you don't know, you don't know. Ain't my fault.
Hey.
You don't know? You ain't get the memo?
You missed the class on 224.
Kataba, right? See? Katabata. They wrote.
You ain't gonna make that mistake.
Right? Katabu. They wrote. Right? It all sounds the same, right? But we know.
Yeah.
Right? Katabna.
We wrote.
I didn't say katabna, I said katabna.
They wrote?
They wrote. It's the difference between katabna and katabna. We're not making the na long. If that's why you be mindful, listening is the skill. Right? We're not saying katabna, we say katabna.
That's probably what happened with your touchdown.
Okay, right? See?
Yeah,
Right? So, all right? And then we say katabta. Right? We just get this all in one time. Katabta. Now, when you go to the second person, when we go to the second person now, the letter katabta, katabti, katabtuma, katabtum, katabtunna. The verb is mabni on what now? Katabta, katabti, katabti, katabtuma. Mabni ala katab. What is it mabni on? What vowel?
Sukun.
Sukun. So for second person, it's mabni ala sukun. We don't retain the fatha, it's fatha in the third person.
Because he's talking about the original,
Right.
verb, not the...
Right? Right? So, katabta, katabti, katabtuma, katabtum, katabtunna all mean you wrote. Right? Katabtu, I'm first person now. Katabtu, mabni on what? Katab, sukun. Katabna, sukun, mabni ala sukun. So the past tense verb is always mabni. It's either going to be mabni on fatha or sukun. That's it.
I always knew that, but you knew that, but you just didn't know that you knew.
Right? So I wrote, we wrote. So now let's go to the second form verb. Same thing. Let's take an easy verb. Wahada. Wahada. Or let's say kabbara. Kabbara. Kaf, ba, ra. With shadda on the back. Kabbara. Right? Everybody know kabbara means to say Allahu Akbar. And he is. Ameen. Yeah, that's right. Y'all let them know. That's, let them know. Yeah,
he got something going on.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I hope you enjoy that. You know,
right?
It's under the third book.
Right? Kabbara. Right? Kabbara, right? Right? So, he said Allah is great. How would we say she said Allah is great? Kabbarat. Right? Don't remember, you still have shut on that back. So you still have to get that shut. That's part of the verb itself. Right? They said Allah is great. Kabbara.
Kabbara.
Yeah, they.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Kabbara. They said Allah is great. Women now. MashaAllah, Allahu Akbar. They said Allah is great. Everybody. Everybody. Come on. Kabbaru. They said Allah is great. Women. A lot of them. The women in Iran, Allahu Akbar. See them in the book in the black, they come out with their guns. You ever seen them? Well, they be like, man.
They got AKs.
They ain't playing.
AKs and lunch.
They ain't playing. You ever seen them?
Mm-hmm.
SubhanAllah, boy. That'd be a force to reckon with, boy. I mean, getting defeated by women. Wow, we get it every day, boy. I beat up last week. I ain't kidding. I came back here. That's why you see me, right, Kwame? First thing I said to you. Shoot. Shit, I hope I'm off the list now. Right? You missed it. What happened? We'll tell you. You know. Man, hard being a teacher around here nowadays. Mm-hmm. All right? So we have, just finished it. So we have kabbara, kabbarat, kabbara, kabbarata, kabbaru, kabbarna. Now we want to say, you said Allah is great. Kabbarta. Or T. Tuma. Tun. Kabartun. Right? Still mabni ala sukun. And now to say, I said Allah is great. Kabartu. We said Allah is great. Kabarna. Same thing happens in the third form, fourth form, and let's go to the fifth form now. So let's use this verb tashahada. Tashahada, right? Right? If we conjugate that as a past tense verb, so we say tashahada. Right? It'd have been, then how would we make it say she? Tashahadat. They. Tashahada. Aleph a duality now. Tashahada. They still dual, but feminine now. Tashahadat. Ta. They. Tashahadu. They. Tashahad. Na. Tashahad. Right?
Tashahad.
You don't see it yet?
No, I know what it is, but I'm not seeing it right now.
I'm saying, can you see it? You can't see it. I'm saying, still don't see it?
I don't see it. No.
Don't erase that right there. We erase that other stuff. Oh, no. You can use that. Oh, that's sad. See the picture that I...
You already done. Why you need a picture?
I don't know, the reinforcement.
Okay.
I need the picture, I need the video, I need the audio, and I need to write it down.
Okay? Right? That's the fifth form there. Tashahada. Okay? Right? That's the right? This is the verb. Tashahada.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Fifth form.
Right.
Conjugating it now. Right now, it goes to huwa.
Right.
We want to make it say here. We're going to add ta with sakun. Tashahadat. Tashahadat. Right? Mm-hmm. Make it say here. To make it say huma. Right? To make it say huma, what do we need to make it say? An aleph. Tashahada. Right? To make it say huma and it's directed to female, right? What are we going to need? The ta of feminine and then the aleph back. Tashahadata.
I'm cussing the who or he and not you, and you.
Yeah.
That's what threw me off.
Yeah.
Okay.
You, it don't matter who.
Okay?
You know.
Right?
But you know.
Everybody got it? To make it say whom, what do we need? What do we need?
The wow.
Wow, and that wow is wow, the plural wow. So
Wow,
tashahadu,
plurality.
right? We can't keep the dhamma here, the fatha here. Why? Because wow is a vowel. So wow forces dhamma to come out. That's why it changes to a dhamma. Tashahadu, and then we end it with aleph and the sukoon on top. Now we know we're at the end of our verb. Tashahadu. To make it say hunna, what do we need? What do we need? Noon. And that noon is something special just for the verb. That noon, and so the plural noon. Tasha. And now the verb now is going to be mabni ala sukoon. Tashahadna. It's not long.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
This is working.
Okay? Now we go on to second person. Easy. Second person, if you know anta, look. Anta, anti, antuma, antum, antun. Take off an, and everything else is left. Ta, ti, tuma, tum, tunna. Everybody got that? If you know anta, I want you to stay with me now. If you know anti, if you know antuma, if you know antum, antunna, right? We're going to cut that verb, that pronoun in half. An is the beginning, and what's left? Ta, ti, tuma, tum, tunna. That's what goes on the verb. So, tashahad, ta, tashahad, ti, tashahad, tuma, tashahad, tum, tashahad, tunna.
I'm hungry.
Okay, got it? Fa'ana nahnu. Now we have first person. What do we have to do to make the verb say I? Two. So, tashahad, two. Make it say we. Tashahadna. So you see, the past tense verb is always mabni ala on fatha or sukoon. Okay? All right? Everybody got it? All right? Easy. And then again, the masdar, right?
Easy, huh?
The masdar, when you want to form the masdar for fifth or sixth form, the middle vowel, or the middle letter, or we can say the vowel before the N. What's the letter before the N? In this case, it's the letter ha. Before the N, it's going to be a dhamma. So the masdar is tashahhud. Not that other stuff where we say it is.
Tashahud. The tashi.
Wow.
The tashi.
How do you say that again?
Tashahud.
All right, enough. I don't know
We don't know how to spell it.
Tashahud.
Tashahhud.
That thing in the middle.
Okay. Okay, see it now, though. The point. We got everybody see it now?
Yeah.
Everybody see it, okay? The middle. The vowel before the N is dhamma for the masdar. Right? And being that it's a noun, so of course it ends in tanween, of course, right? Tashahudun, or tashahudan, whatever you want to say, okay? That's fifth and sixth. Okay? Let's see. Any questions on how to do 5 and 6? Okay? Should be good. I mean, hopefully we good. Okay? You got to practice and read. Okay? All right. All right. Here we go. I'm going to take this down. No!
Oh. Stop that.
Okay. We're not going to go into detail, but I'm going to go over as much as I can to take care to satisfy what we need to do with these words that's on the suborder. By no means is what we're going to say today is it the end. What I mean by that is because Arabic, you can study something, you can know it, and then we can always put another spin on it to look at it and understand it from another angle so that you get a better understanding of something. That's just how the language is. So, so we always talk about the basic things. So like right now, what we've been doing, we've really been studying the basic verbs, even with the different forms. Okay? When we say a basic verb, we talk about a verb like this, like kataba. Right? Like kataba. Okay? Jalasa. Let's say la'iba. Right? Give me another verb.
Daraba.
Fataha. Okay? Daraba. Okay? These are regular verbs. What do we want to say regular verb? Meaning that the letter, we're talking about the lettering now. The letters don't have a hamza in it, nor do they have a weak letter in them, nor are they doubled. Okay? So if you see a verb that has a hamza in it, there's certain other ways of working with those kind of verbs. Or if you see it has a weak letter in it, there's certain ways that you work with those verbs. Or if it's doubled, there's certain ways that you work with that verb. Okay? So the verbs that we've really been taking on are what we call regular verbs. That's free from any of those other things. Those are the verbs we've been dealing with. Okay? So here we have some verbs. Okay? And these verbs aren't just picked out randomly. It's a reason why we took these verbs. Okay? Like, so if we look at our first verb, hada. Okay? The category we put this verb in, that this verb is a weak verb. What makes it weak? Because it ends in an aleph maksura at the end. Okay? Weak verbs are of three types. Weak verbs are of three types. Okay? I'm going to try to get as much information as we can today. Okay? Weak verbs are of three types. What do we mean by three types? Why do we say three types? Pay attention so you can understand the language, why we're saying it a certain way. Traditionally, a verb has three letters. Right? Traditionally, a verb has three letters. So, when we say a weak verb is of three types, that means that the first letter could be weak, the middle letter could be weak, or the last letter could be weak. That's what we mean by it is of three types. So, in other words, we can start a verb out with a weak letter. The middle letter could be weak, or the last letter could be weak. Look at hada. It's weak where? At the end. Okay, it's weak at the end. Unlike, let's see. We don't have one up here. I'm just gonna throw it up here. We're not gonna use it in class. We may use it. We may use it just for the purposes now. Walada for an example. See, walada is weak where? At the beginning, because the wow is a weak letter. Or a verb like ja. Okay, see, ja. Ja is weak where? In the middle. So a weak verb is weak three ways. It's either the beginning is the letter is weak, the middle letter is weak, or the final vowel, the final letter, is weak. Okay? Let's take care of when it's weak at the beginning. Let's go ahead and take care of this verb first. Okay? So a verb like walada. Okay? All right, right. Okay? Walada. Okay? Walada. Conjugating it is no problem in the past tense. Walada, if we know what it means, it doesn't matter. Walada. What will be next after walada? Waladat. Come on. Let's finish it. Waladat. Walada. Waladata. Waladu. Waladna. Come on, second person. Walatta. walati, walatuman, walatum, walatumna. Walatu. Even if the meaning don't make sense, because it don't make sense. Don't can't say walatu. You really can't say that. It don't make sense. I mean, I want to make sure I clear that up.
Yeah, because this guy last year.
Okay.
Okay.
Walatna. Okay. 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 Right. So it kind of is not a problem. Okay. We now go to the present tense for this. What verb we talking about? The weak verb that begins with a wow. We're going to go now to the present tense for this verb. Everybody go to the dictionary and look up walada. Everybody have a dictionary? Just for time, when we find it, if we have different, just call out the page number so that way we all get onto it.
1097.
1,000. Yep.
I don't know which, dictionary.
1,097.
I think we got the same.
Yeah, everybody got the same one.
1,000 what?
97.
Oh, snap. Lost the page.
We lad. Parturition.
Everybody see it?
Refine it.
Again, everybody have it?
Yes.
Okay, again, with any verb, again, no matter what the type of verb, same procedure in looking up in Hands with Dictionary. It's still going to give you the actual verb, transliteration, and then it's also going to give you the vowel for the present tense. I want everybody to look at it so we all go over the numbers. Okay?
Huh?
Okay?
Must be Kesser.
So we win. Okay, everybody see it? Right? And if you notice,
No way.
it's different number.
You know English, you know anything. Tell you, boy, they move up to New York and they, man, you ain't no transportation. And Maulid, to bear, give birth.
Okay, but I have it? Okay. If you notice, everybody see walada? Everybody see it?
Yes.
Then you'll notice that he gives you the actual verb in the present tense. You should see ya, lam, del. Everybody see it?
Yes.
And then he gives you the transliteration. And he also gives you the vowel, I believe, right? So what the prefix vowel takes what, of course? Fata. That's a given for a regular verb. And what's next? The letter what?
Lamb.
Lamb. And what does lamb take?
Kesser.
Kesser. You see it? Okay. So here he's giving you the actual verb in the present tense. So this verb now takes kesser. Now it's going to end in the del is the last letter. So it's marfu. So walada becomes what? Yalidu. What happened?
Drop the wow.
Drop the wow. So those verbs that begin with the wow in the present tense, we eliminate the wow. That's the rule for a verb that begins with wow.
Oh, for that weak letter. For that
right,
particular
for that
one.
kind of verb.
Okay.
That's what's that verb that begins with wow. Right? So it's walada yalidu. Okay? Normally he give you in Hands where he normally just give you the letter. Here he give you the actual verb because it's not, you just can't say this here.
Because we would say wali do.
We would say this,
Wali do
yaoli
what?
do. That's what we would say. Yaoli do.
Y'all only
Yeah,
do.
wali do.
Right?
Yeah.
Drop the Y altogether. You see?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Right? Everybody understand? That's what happens with that kind of verb. Okay? So, now, look, yali do. Right? Is marfu. Make it mansub. Yali da. Make it majzum.
Yalid.
Huh?
Yalid.
Well, are you saying something different?
Yalid.
Yalid.
Oh yeah, I'm tripping.
Allah says, Qul huwallahu ahad. Allahu samad. Lam yalid. Okay? Everybody got it?
Speedy work.
That's your present tense. For a verb that begins with wow. So when you make the present tense for these kind of verbs, you eliminate the wow. Okay, you eliminate it.
And that's just for wow, not all weak letters.
That's when it begins with the wow. Okay? And the best thing, just when you consult this is why when you consult the dictionary definitely tell you what you have to do.
I mean, it won't always be a yeah, right?
Right.
But you know, tripping me out? It replaces a weak letter with a weak letter.
What did he have? Weak letter too.
Can't have two weak letters.
Hello?
It's like you have two weak people, either. It doesn't work out. No. But what I'm saying is replacing that. I'm not gonna say that.
What happened?
Nothing.
All right. Everybody good?
But I see what you're saying.
You see what I'm saying,
I
right?
didn't replace a weak letter with a strong, with a different
Yeah.
letter.
Would you say? All right, say that louder. What you say?
I said it didn't replace a weak letter with a strong letter or another type of letter.
Because it's present tense, it's going to start with yeah, period.
Yeah, we understood.
Right? There's no deep science, right?
No, we was just wondering, smart guy.
It's just yeah.
Watch. Let's use a verb that has make a little bit more sense. Wajada. Everybody know what wajada means?
It's fine.
To find. Mashallah. Wajada. Okay? Go to wajada.
No, I'm just trying to be more clear, but I need to know clarity. I'm sorry. They know we don't. I got him here right now. You are weird. That's the problem. I give you my money, bro.
Why
What
does
you
that?
know?
1049.
1049.
10
That's right.
Yeah, you do.
Wajada. Yajidu. Wujud.
Okay, everybody have it now?
Yes, sir.
So wajada becomes what in the present tense?
Yajidu.
Yajidu. Okay? So yajidu. So wajada means to find. He found. Yajidu means what? What would yajidu mean? How would we translate yajidu?
He is fine.
He is finding, right? So how to say I'm finding?
Yeah, you dash.
I am doing it. Present tense.
Aji.
I am doing it.
Aji.
Oh,
I am doing it.
Aji.
Ajidu.
Aji.
You are doing it.
Tajidu.
Tajidu, if you're talking to a woman.
Tajidu.
Tajidu.
Tajidina.
Tajidina. We are finding.
Najidu.
Najidu. Kayfa najidu ad-dars. How do we find the class? Kayfa najidu ad-dars.
That sounds so sweet, boy.
We gotta say that every Sunday.
Yeah. That's
Kayfa wajadta. Wajadta. How did you, wajadta. Wajadta, did you find? Okay, so you see, that's the conjugation. So the present tense, the verb that begins with the wow is considered a weak verb. Right? So using the weak verbs is not like using the